morning Toastmasters, has held several leadership roles in his tenure, and has earned the Distinguished Toastmaster designation. Always encouraging improvement, Oakland hopes to do that again today as he starts his journey for a second Competent Communicator Award. By the end of his speech, you will have learned more about Oakland and earned your Oakland Lewis MBA. The Oakland Lewis MBA.
Thank you, Donna, Madam Toastmaster. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is a privilege to be here today. I felt like I won something, and I didn't have to do any ploys this morning to trick my daughter to come with me or have my wife take her to school today. So I'm very happy to be here. Now, I had the privilege of getting my real MBA several years, or many years ago now. And I had it in General MBA with a concentration in entrepreneurship. But the MBA that I'm going to talk to you today about is an MBA that all of you can have today. Would you like to have that today?
Sure.
The MBA I'm talking about is the mentors in your life, the books you read, and the attitudes that you develop towards those things. My MBA starts with my mom and my dad, no doubt. My favorite mentors of all. My mom and my dad, they had a couple of things many things that they always taught me, but one thing in particular that really has driven me and shaped how I approach life today is that they always said, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And no matter what difficult challenges we may be going through when we were growing up, you know, they didn't really let me in on the secrets, but I knew that there was times when we were challenged. For instance, I went to a Catholic school. I'm not Catholic, I'm Protestant. Back home, that was a no-no. There were no Protestants in the Catholic schools. My sister and I were the first ones to do that. Where there's a will, there's always a way. I had many other mentors. My sensei in karate school who, you know, as I look back, I thought that he was evil when he stood in front of me and said, oh, it's only 95% mental and 5% physical. While I'm aching and using muscles that I never thought I had before, I thought he was crazy. But now that I look back, it was really true. 95% of the things that we go through is mental. Everything that we do comes from up here. Every way we react comes from up here. Just like Dave said, he made an affirmation about a year ago, and now it's coming to fruition. There's a gentleman named Blaze. I may have talked to him about him before. He was the head of the Defense Force, and he was a neighbor. And he inspired me to join the cadet force as a young man. And that taught me discipline. Well, more discipline. I had enough discipline at home, I thought, but that taught me more discipline. And how to really set goals and go through things even though the going gets tough. So that's the M. And I'm sure that you can relate with some of the M's in your life. Now the B is for the books that I read, or was made to read. One book in particular, To Kill a Mockingbird, really stood out for me. In that book, I really learned how to deal with people of different races, different colors, different race, different sex, creeds, caste, color. And the little girl, I can't remember her name right now, but Scout. You know, just being very precocious and inquisitive and just asking questions and making things happen. But as I grew older, my sensei also told me to read a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. I don't know if you ever read that book, by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. I recommend it highly. It's about how you perceive yourself and how you perceive yourself, how you get through your life. And there are many other books that I've read. The Millionaire Mind, like the Vivian and I are reading right now. But one book in particular I really like is The Power of Awareness. It's a very obscure book by a gentleman named Neville Goddard. He's from Barbados. Neville Goddard, Goddard. I highly recommend this. And this is the only book in my library that I have highlighted. And because it's almost like sacrilege for me to highlight my books. But I wanted to share with you this quote. Rest in the assumption that you are already what you want to be. For in that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are merged in creative unity. And with your infinite being, or God, all things are possible. And then he has a quote from the Bible, which I won't go into here. But this book, The Power of Awareness, is a book that really has shaped me in the last several years. And then we move on to the A, the attitudes that we develop because of the things that we, the M and the B. An attitude of, first of all, loving yourself, because if you don't love yourself, then you can't love anyone else. An attitude of cheerful appreciation all the time. And most of all, an attitude, which is really near and dear to my heart, is an attitude of gratitude. Be thankful every single day. Every day is an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity to experience different things. Just like Mike said, even just looking at a flower, looking at the spider weaving a web, looking at the sky, the clouds changing. Everything, just your attitude of gratitude. So hopefully, by now you all have had your personal MBA, thinking about your mentors, thinking about the books that you've read, and thinking about the attitudes that you may want to continue to develop or maybe even change. I know that I'm growing and changing every day. Madam.
Thank you so much. Another book you may want to add to your list is by Harry Ioane Jim, who had written a book just a few years ago, and in his book, and I'll send the information to those of you who are interested, but he said something very similar. You have all you need. Within each of us, we already have everything we need, and we need to then just figure out what it is we want to do with it.